Hello, everybody! So, I just got finished watching the newest episode of American Horror Story Hotel, and it was weird. A lot of stuff happened, so here are my top three moments. Number 3, John's downward spiral. So, the first scene with John in is him sleeping in his room at the Hotel Cortez. And he turns over and there's his creepy vampire kid, Holden, laying there next to him. And he wakes up and he's like, wow, what the fuck? And Holden's like, hi, daddy, being all creepy. And he runs out of the room. John obviously goes running after him. He ends up in that basement pool room gym thing, and he sees Alex sleeping in the coffin next to creepy child Holden, and he obviously freaks out. Understandable. That would be weird. Good morning. Your wife is sleeping in a coffin next to your child who went missing. Creepy. So after that, Alex goes to Liz Taylor and she's like, dude, or Liz, I need your help. Next thing we know, Liz is in there smashing up the coffins and Alex is in John's room telling him that he needs help. He's going loony and she's concerned for him and all this shit. Next thing you know, John is drinking in the hotel hallway. There definitely could have been a better place for him to be drinking and getting drunk and being depressed. He chose the hallway. Whatever. Side note, earlier on in the episode, Alex came across the ghosts of those Swedish chicks from episode 1 and basically told them that she basically told them to go do ghost stuff, sex things with John. To just kind of, it's a whole plan to just kind of get him out of the hotel. Anyway, so he's in the hallway. Liz Taylor walks by. Liz Taylor's like, what are you doing? Let me help you back into the bedroom. There's a lot of shit that goes down in these hallways that just aren't fun. So let's get back in the hotel room. And John freaks out and he's like, no. And he goes berserk and basically Liz Taylor ends up walking away. And the Swedish chicks walk up, coerce him into having a threesome, and they start banging. Next thing you know, there's blood all over the place, and John is running out of the hotel room naked and bloody. Really weird. I guess that's the theme this season. Bloody sex all over the place. I guess that's what's going on. And he ends up actually going back home. He leaves the hotel. He's going back home. And his daughter, his creepy daughter, is like, where's mom? And John's like, I don't know. And just weird shit's happening. It's crazy. What ends up happening is he goes nuts. He shoots at what we know to be Bartholomew, who I will talk about in the next category, phase, ranking. Anyway, so he shoots at him and his daughter goes nuts. The officer buddy of his ends up coming by. Alex comes by and basically is telling him, dude, you're fucking crazy. You need to cool it. You need help. And it pretty much ends at that. John is just kind of going nuts. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see, although I'm not really a big fan of his storyline. I kind of find it boring, to be quite honest. It's nothing exciting for me. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks that. I don't know, but I'm kind of bored, so yeah. Anyways, number 2 is the Countess's weird-ass, ugly-ass baby. What the fuck was that about? So the episode starts off with Lady Gaga back in 1928, and she is visiting the murder house from season 1, and she's visiting the Dr. Montgomery, And she tells him that she is 3 weeks pregnant. She reveals her belly. Looked like it was 9 months pregnant to me, but she said 3 weeks, so who fucking knows? She said that her husband doesn't know that she's pregnant. She wants to get it taken care of, and all that happens, and yeah. So, he agrees, Dr. Montgomery agrees. I'm assuming that you've seen season 1, so I'm not really going to go into much detail about that, but he does abortions and stuff like that underground in his little basement. Anyways, so they go do that, and the nurse takes her temperature. She's like, this can't be right. The thermometer must be broken because it says that she's 75 degrees. And he's like, that's impossible because then she'd be dead. So obviously she was already a vampire. I didn't know that vampires could get pregnant, so this is news to me. They're really taking a whole new outlook on the whole vampire thing. And so that all happens, and so they go through with the procedure. He hands her what is supposed to be a dead fetus, but ends up being alive, and fucking, like, gnaws and kills the nurse. And Dr. Montgomery, if you remember, is little cuckoo. So he's just kind of sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? And as a viewer, I was sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? It's weird. I don't even know. So anyways, Lady Gaga wakes up. The Countess wakes up from her anesthesia and, you know, the procedure and all that. And he so happily, with a smile on his face, presents her little baby boy, demon spawn vampire child thing. And he's like, you've had a boy! And he was super stoked about it. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, so that happened. And so later on in the episode, Lady Gaga, the Countess, she's walking down the hallway in this really pretty white dress. I really, really liked it. And she goes into room number 33. She opens the door and there's a cradle. She looks down at the cradle and she's like, I just want to tell you goodbye. Mommy has to go away for a little while, but I promise when I make my return, I'm going to have more money so I never have to leave you again. Because she plans on going to Paris with the Drake guy, the new owner of the hotel, you know, because she wants to marry him and get all of his money and all that. So she goes away. Well, Ramona and Donovan come by knowing that she's gone, and they try to go and kill all those creepy ass vampire kids because they know that she loves them. Well, that doesn't end up happening. Yeah, that doesn't end up happening because the kids are gone because they broke all the coffins. I don't think they ever really say where the kids go, but they're gone. So Ramona's pissed, and she tells Kathy Bates, she's like, give me the keys to room number 33 because we all know what's in there, and we all know that that is the next best thing. If we can't kill these fucking kids, then I'm going to kill that little bastard kid, that freaky kid. So she gets the keys, she goes over there. I guess his name is Bartholomew. He attacks her and escapes and ends up going into John's suitcase, which he ends up going to his house. Little Bartholomew escapes the suitcase, and that's when John goes and shoots at him, and his daughter goes crazy. Then Alex ends up finding little Bartholomew in the bushes, and she's like, oh. And yeah, that happens. So Lady Gaga, the Countess, she ends up coming back to the hotel, and a bunch of shit happens. I'm going to talk about it in my next category, my number 1 category. And she goes back to room 33 to go visit her little crazy baby. And there's Alex sitting in the room with her, or with Bartholomew, which is a fucking weird ass name. What a random name. It's interesting though. I kind of like it, but it's kind of like, wow, way to pick a random name. So she's sitting there with Bartholomew, and the Countess is kind of surprised. She's like, why are you in here? And Alex proceeds on telling her that Bartholomew got out. He was a little hurt. He's lost some blood, but he's going to be fine. She's taken care of him, and he's good. The Countess is clearly grateful, very emotional. She was like, you saved my little boy, you saved my baby. And Alex goes on to tell her, well, you saved mine. So, now they both saved each other's creepy kids. So, now they have that bond. Yeah. So, there's that. And then they reveal the baby. And fucking scary ass kid looking, I don't even know how to describe it. I think it's indescribable what that little kid looked like. He was missing his top face, or like his top here. He had like little fang teeth. He just looked really creepy. And my number one moment is the love triangle between Liz Taylor, Tristan Duffy, and the Countess. Now, this is my number one because Liz Taylor's storyline is my favorite, and I love the character, and I love Dennis O'Hare, and I just love him so much. So, yeah. So, early in the episode, we see Liz Taylor and Tristan Duffy, the Countess's little boy toy model guy, banging, and they end up declaring their love for each other, and it's a really cute scene, and it's really romantic, and I loved it so much. Liz Taylor's storyline is seriously saving this season for me. I just fucking love it. I can't even handle it. I love it. They declare their love for each other, and it's really romantic, and it's really sweet. And I liked it a lot. And so Liz Taylor is really stoked because, you know, Liz has never had this kind of love before where, you know, before Liz was Liz, he was married to someone he didn't love and someone who he wasn't himself. And now that she's Liz and she's herself and just happy, and it's so nice to see. I really love this storyline so much. But the thing is that she knows that the Countess and Tristan are together, and she feels like it's wrong because of what the Countess has done for her. She has made Liz feel comfortable with who she is and to be whoever she is. It's just, I totally see where they're coming from. But Liz is totally confident that if she just tells the Countess that how much they love each other, that the Countess will understand. That the Countess doesn't even love Tristan. She's just using him. And Tristan knows this. And it's this crazy thing. So she goes and tells the Countess. And at first Lady Gaga, she's like, no, I don't share. And then she tells her, she's like, listen, you measure time in decades and the hemline of a skirt. And basically saying that Liz Taylor is human and only has so long, and to just let her have this one thing. After everything that she's done for the Countess, that's all she wants is just this one thing, and it would make her so happy. And so, you know, they end up meeting with, it's the Countess, Liz Taylor, and Tristan, and the Countess says is that over the years, she can't feel emotion. It's more like she can taste it. Each emotion has their own flavor. What was it? Happiness, it tastes like strawberries. Hate tastes like ice chips and martinis. And then she said love tastes like rose water. And then she said the feeling that she tastes, or the flavor that she hates the most is that of betrayal. And she felt like it was a betrayal. And Tristan goes on to telling her that he knows that he doesn't love her. He knows that it's just a game for the Countess, which it is. And they don't understand why they can't just be happy. So the Countess finally says, she's like, fine, that's what you want. You guys want him? You want him? She said that to Liz Taylor. You want him? And they're like, yes. And she's like, okay, you can have him. And she ends up slitting Tristan's throat and killing him. I was genuinely sad. I didn't like Tristan as a character very much, but I was genuinely sad for Liz Taylor. I think it's because I love the character so much, and I think that it's such a great storyline. It really saddened me that that's how it happened. But at the same time, I saw it coming, and I'm a little sad that, I don't know, I think that Liz just had way too much confidence in the Countess, and I think that she just really genuinely thought that she could trust her, and that's just not how it happened. So that's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. Yeah, I definitely see Liz Taylor having a hand in the Countess's downfall, that's for sure. 100%. If not killing her, then she's definitely going to have... Well, actually, I think Alex is going to be the one that ends up killing the Countess, to be quite honest, but I definitely think that Liz Taylor is going to have a lot to do with it. So we're just going to have to wait and see and how that all works out. Tell me what you thought of the episode and what you thought of her crazy baby and the love triangle and all of that craziness in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah. So I'll see you guys next week for a new episode. Bye!